Dear participant, it is a great privilege today. Now we have a Professor Aditya Tripathi, a head department of Library Information Science, Banaras Hindu University, BHU, and today he is going to take this your last session of the today on a very emerging area, ICT tools and techniques. He is going to his application in the teaching. So education in digital environment. Actually, he is going to exactly talk about in the present digital era, knowledge society, how we are going to educate our student, and as all we are the teachers. So welcome, sir, in the HRDC 6 faculty induction program. We are very grateful. In spite of your all busy schedule, you agreed and you accepted our request to take this lecture for our participant. So thank you so much, sir. Now I am handing over the session to you for your presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj. Hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yeah, audible, sir.
Good. Okay. For introducing me to the participants.
Actually, sir, participants are in webinar mode. They cannot interact directly by the chat and others. They can interact only.
There was anything you were trying to add, Dr. Manoj?
No, sir.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, you can start, sir.
So I'll be talking mostly on the research and the use of information technology. Side by side, I will be talking with how you can use IT in your education also. So in fact, initially when Dr. Manoj asked me, it was planned that I should be talking about research and information communication technologies. But as he has pointed out now that I should also give some kind of orientation to you about how ICT can be used in the education also. So that also I'll be trying to cover during my discussion deliberation. So now coming to the kind of world we are living with, there are three kinds of world when we are. Means it is like when you are working with the world where you have a physical world. There is another world where we do our research and all that. So as uh, information science as a discipline, if you study, there was a philosopher called Karl Popper. He distributed the world of the intellectuals into three parts. Okay. The first he called as World One. That is the physical world through which is around us, where we live in, like the tangible objects you can see, you can feel, okay, which includes the things around you, the environment around you. Mostly it is related to matter and energy and how they interact. And mostly it is the one which is tangible, you can uh, have a feel about it. Another world is the world two, which is a cognitive world, okay, and it resides in our mind. So what we see in our physical world, we perceive some knowledge, we perceive some information, which resides in our mind and it enhances our cognitive level. Mostly it is a subjective world. We all may have our own perceptions. It's like if I meet Manoj and if some other person meets Manoj, we may have uh, different views about the person, okay, because we may have our own knowledge, and based on our knowledge, based on our interaction with uh, Dr. Manoj, we may have different perceptions. So whatever we understood about Dr. Manoj, it is, quite subjective. Okay. So it depends, it differs from person to person. Okay. But of course, whatever it is, it enhances our cognitive level. It enhances our knowledge domain about the subject or about the person, okay, which we are considering in our, uh, you know, subject. This is world number two. This is intangible, okay. Mostly it is tacit. Then comes the world number three. Okay. This is the outcome of world number two. So whatever I understood about a person, about the subject, here we have taken Dr. Manoj as a subject. So when I am, you know, I am writing a note about him, I may write something else. The other person may write something else. Okay. I may write something, he may write something else, based on our experiences with the person, based on our experience with the subject. Now, similarly, it's like, the write-up I have produced, or the outcome of my cognitive level which I have produced, it is actually our world number three. Okay, it may be in form of some object. Another example I can give you, like, there is an artist. Okay, an artist, when he draws something, or a person, he designs a sculpture, uh, it is out of his knowledge, it is out of his emotions, it is out of his cognitive level. He is designing an object. Okay, and the outcome or the product which is outcome of his knowledge is world number three. So mostly it is a kind of an object, it is a kind of a product, it is kind of theory, it is kind of a book, it is kind of a writer, it is a kind of a note. Okay, such kind of objects are basically world number three. So this is also tangible. So out of three worlds, world number one is tangible, world number three is tangible, but world number two is intangible. Okay, and resides in our mind. So our whole research resides on in these three levels of world. Okay, and actually, when we do a research, okay, it follows the spiral of scientific method. So any kind of research is a never-ending exercise. Okay. So when you start a work, you find a problem, and then when you find a problem, you try to find some solutions to it. So you may get many options, many solutions. Out of, say, for example, if you get some 4 or 5 solutions, we say 5 solutions, you select the best one. Okay. So you may select the solution number three, and then you apply the solution number three for the problem, and then you see the result. When you implement it, then you see the result. And if you get the outcome, desired outcome, you are happy. But again, you realize a problem. Once you reach your final goal, you again start rethinking, you again start having the feedback from the customers or from the users. Okay, and then you realize a fresh problem, and again you start going, means you start afresh, then you try to find out the solutions, and this is a continuous cycle which goes on and on and on, and that is why it is called as a spiral of scientific method. Now, mostly when I am talking about with you about research and education, I have to speak mostly on the use of machines, use of the services which can be offered by machines. Okay. So it is all about machine game, which I am going to discuss with you. And artificial intelligence is playing a major role in this. Okay. Because today you have high processing capacity.
Sir, Adit sir, your voice is not coming, sir. Yeah, you say something, then we can. Yeah, not coming, sir, not audible. Just 1 second before it was stopped.
एक मिनट
Yeah, now it is coming, sir.
Performance 7 rupees.
some internet problem, sir. So he's trying to rejoin.
Yeah, I did not call, sir. Now I'm calling. I waiting him. Yeah, yeah, some Wi-Fi connections problem. Now he's joining.
Uh,
Yeah,
now is it okay?
yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
I think my wired network has a problem.
Okay.
That is surprising. Anyway. Hmm. Okay, so where I was, yes. So, it is all what we have is the improved processing, improved storage. And today, you have got the new Google platform, GPT chat kind of thing, which can understand nearly natural language. So if you can speak with the system, it can answer you like you are talking to a human being. So it is all possible because of improved processing, and because of improved processing, today we are working with machine learning and smart retrieval, and this is happening because of wonderful analytical capacity which we can generate within the computer. In fact, one of the big good example, you can see that we could get the COVID vaccine within a year because of the excellent capacity we have today, computation capacity we have in the machine. Because these all viruses and these cells, they have a very large genetic sequence, and this sequencing is now stored within the computer, and then with the the medicine or with the the virus RNA parts, they try to do some kind of computation how to neutralize the a particular set of a virus, a particular protein, okay, within the virus. And this all is done because of modeling. Okay, they can do the things within the computer as models, and once they feel that yes, model is successful, then they go to the lab and then they do the further experimentation on the live objects. So the very first hand experimentation is done today within the computer, and for that, lot of large scale models are used. Today we get excellent weather forecast. You can exactly predict when there will be rain. Okay, this is because of we have wonderful processing capacity, computational capacity, and then we have models so that we can match the models with the conditions and then we can do the prediction. Okay, so computation has given us means it has become a tool for us today for many of our day-to-day problems. Now, seeing the whole scenario from the point of view of a teacher, from the point of view of a researcher, uh, we create resources, we write research papers, we write book chapters, we deliver lectures online or in the electronic form, and these outcomes, okay, scholarly outcomes are being used by the users at their leisure. It is no more, mandatory for the patrons or for the users or for the readers or even for your students to be there on time in the class, okay, uh, from 9 to 5 kind of an environment. They can go to your website, go to your YouTube channel. They can read whatever you have written. They can view your research paper online through library portal at their leisure. Whenever they are free, they can go and they can read. And it is also not mandatory that they have to go, they can do the whole thing uh, using a small device like laptop or even with their smartphone at any time. Okay. So the creators do create resources and the users use these resources at their leisure. Only thing is these outcomes, whatever it is, the outcomes you have today, which is in a digital format, it has to be protected, it has to be taken care. And to take care of these objects, you don't require, uh, you know, uh, an institution. This you can do very much using a computer, or you can host your whole resources on a cloud. Okay, so you don't require a physical institution to hold these resources. These all resources can be placed on cloud. They can be placed on server, uh, which can be placed in any part of the world, and users can use these resources, and creators can put their creations or put their resources on these clouds or on these servers. So, the whole institution has changed today. Today, we are talking about digital universities. Okay. Today, we are talking about open education. Today, we are talking about open research. Today, we are talking about collaboration. And this is only possible because of the use of ICT, use of computation power of computers. Today, what we have. So now it has brought a new kind of scholarship. We call it as a digital scholarship, where we create the resources, we produce and store the resources, we analyze, distribute, and publish the resources to our patrons, to our users in digital format. And when this whole exercise of creation, storage, processing and retrieval and publishing is done for academic purpose, it is known as digital scholarship. Okay, so it is in a form, in other words, if you ask me, I would say that it is a kind of a digitalization of our very academics. Okay, and out of this digitalization, today we are having a new kind of a scholarship. We call it as a digital scholarship. There are different facets of digital scholarship. We can use it in teaching and learning. You can use digital scholarship in communication. So if I am talking to you over Zoom platform, this is also a kind of a scholarly communication. And the connect between you and me, the communication between you and me is part of digital scholarship. And if at all this whole conversation, this whole lecture is being recorded and it is streamed on YouTube, it becomes a product, it becomes a service. Okay. And for all this, what the technology we are using is digital technology. So, the whole life cycle of our academy, including our research, okay, is being digitalized because the use of digital technology. And this is the digital scholarship we talked about. So, if I am talking about digital scholarship, now there are different stakeholders in digital scholarship. Earlier, normally, it used to be the teacher and the student. There were two stakeholders in a classroom. There is a teacher, there is a student. If at all you belong to an institution, you can say the librarian is there, the administrators are there. These are the basic, stakeholders are there, and out of them, administrators may not have that kind of important role in digital scholarship. But today, the very spectrum of uh, stakeholders has increased. Today, you have got teachers, you have got students, of course, but apart from that, you have got analyst, you have got audience. Okay, your audience could be your students. Okay, your audience could be viewers. Okay, you have got the publishers involved. Not only publishers, you got developers involved. Developer means the programmers who are creating the program, creating the system in which you can put your resource. You can communicate to your patrons. The whole platform is developed by developers. They are also part of digital scholarship. The very designing of your resource, okay, the designers are involved, the archivists are involved. So, the spectra of stakeholders that has increased when I'm talking today about digital scholarship in our academics. And the content, the very content you are talking about, the content has changed. In good old days, we used to have the text in a form of a book. The text was the content and the book was the container. Okay, but today things have changed. Today you have the content as text, you have content as audio, content as graphics, content as moving objects, content as sometimes some kind of a product. So the content is now changed to multimedia, and the container are different. It could be a ebook, it could be a website, it could be an email, it could be an audio clip, it could be a video clip, it could be a graphics. So the container also has, you have variety of containers, you have variety of content. The media has changed. You have got multimedia content today, which you can use. So if at all I'm talking about the content, earlier you used to have single mode content, either text or graphics, and that's it. But today, in a content, you may have some portion as text, some portion as graphics, some portion as audio clip, some portion as video. Okay. So today, your content is not in, content doesn't come in a single mode. Your content comes in multi-mode approach. Okay. So the content you are having, it is multimodal now, in which you can have audio, video, text, graphics, everything. Think about the books used in the famous movie called Harry Potter. We all have seen Harry Potter. There we have seen a lot of books, talking books. Okay, and in those books, some graphics are there, some videos are there, some text is also there, and these books are audio books. They can speak. Okay, and today we are really uh, going to have such kind of containers for our education. Okay, and this all could be possible because we have a digital platform for us. The objects are digital. So today, the object we are using, it is no more a book, it is no more a photograph, rather it is digital information object, and which may have more than one medium. which may contain more than one medium. Now, when I'm talking about digital information objects, okay, in a digital information object, you can have ebooks, you can have e-journals, of course. You can have databases, graphics, articles. You can have web pages, static as well as dynamic. You can have bulletin boards, you can have forums, you can have blogs. You can have songs, movies. You can have news items, articles. In fact, today morning when I was working with my students on Web of Science, we were trying to search some subject on Web of Science. They have different kinds of document types. And almost all this, whatever I have listed here, many of them were listed there as, information objects, information resources. So now these are, recognized platforms. These are recognized resources in our academics. So the very shape of digital information resources have changed to digital information objects. And since we all are teachers, researchers, so this is something which all of us need to know is open access. What open access means? Open access means when I'm publishing something, it has to be accessible to everybody. Because when I'm doing my research, the logic is when I'm doing research from the taxpayers' money. So whatever is the outcome of my research work, it should be accessible to everybody. Okay. If it is accessible to everybody, it will establish my recognition in the subject in terms of citations, okay, in terms of collaborations. So open access is the mantra today. But again, when you have to publish, you have to find out a platform, and normally it is e-journals, which is as you know, these are business houses, and when they are business houses, they ought to, they are going to sell, and if it is freely available, but is going to buy it. So this tussle that publishing industry has an idea that they should not lose business because of open access. So there are different, licensing mechanism identified because of, negotiations between the, scientific community, scholarly community, and the publishers. And some mutual agreement has come up. And, different journals are tagged as different colors like gold, green, blue, yellow, and white. So if you are publishing in a gold journal, so whenever you are publishing, you should see whether the journal is gold, it is green, blue, yellow. Okay. This represents each journal has to declare that. Be careful and try to find out the best suited journal for your purpose. So gold is open access publishing journals. That means if you publish them, whatever you publish, it is publicly accessible, free of cost. There are some journals with green tag. They can archive preprint and postprint, but not, they allow you to archive preprint and postprint, but they don't allow you to archive their camera ready copy or their published copy. So any preprint and postprint you can put in your archive. There are, or you can distribute it. There are blue journals, they allow only post-print. Okay, so whatever final draft you prepare, okay, post-refereeing, after refereeing is done, that you can put in archive or you can distribute to your users free of cost. There is yellow where preprint is allowed to be archived, you can distribute freely, and there is white, they don't allow you to anything. Once you submit your own article, your own document to them, it is their copyright. Okay. So, whenever you are publishing, be very careful. Besides, there are some hybrid journals. They allow you, they allow open access once you make them, once you pay them article processing charges. Okay. So then they make your article publicly accessible. So such journals are hybrid journals. So whenever you are publishing, I urge to all of you, be very careful in selecting your journal. Okay. Because if you are in open access, you will naturally receive more citations because your research work will be publicly accessible. So naturally, if you are in open access journals, there will be effective scholarly communication. Otherwise, it is a barrier. So talking about scholarly communication, as I told you, scholarly communication simply means the communication among the scholars. The communication among the scholars may happen in many ways. It can be through research journals, it could be through book, it could be through conferences, seminars, symposium, it could be through webinars or classroom lectures, which we are doing now. There are many mechanisms of scholarly communication. In fact, if I put it in a very plain word, when scholars sit together on any platform, virtually or physically, and they communicate on a subject, they talk on a subject, they make the discussion on a subject, that communication should be called as scholarly communication. So there is no specific method of scholarly communication. It just happens among the scholars. Okay? But again, there are many services which help you online today, okay, to improve the scholarly communication. Like you have RCID IDs, research gates, you have a lot of social networking tools, research management softwares, of course, email forums, group chats, we all do that. And this whole scholarly communication is only because we want to share, we want to collaborate within the community. And this whole business of IT, this whole business of using digital platform, it saves a lot of time of our researchers. Okay. When I say researcher, it doesn't mean that there is a scientist who is doing certain experiment, or there is an author who is writing. Yes, of course, it saves a lot of time of a scientist. It saves a lot of time of an author. But in any of their creation, there are a lot of actors involved. You can see publisher, programmer, designer, panelists, developers, lyricists, editors, directors, composers, spectators. Lot of stakeholders are there. Only names are different, but they all take, they are part of any intellectual output. Okay. And use of ICT, use of digital platforms saves a lot of their time. Whether the product they are preparing is online or offline, in both mode, it saves a lot of their time. In fact, the digital platform is a very good medium for mass media. Within no time, you can viral information, a piece of information, you can reach out to millions of people within no time. Okay. So, this is the beauty of using digital information object. This is the beauty of using digital platform. This is the beauty of using digital tools, or in other words, using computers. So, the digital scholarship, the way I look into is the input is still the traditional method. We still do discussion, we do research, creativity, performance, teaching, communication. No changes. What we used to do 100 years before, still we are doing that. Only thing is the platform has changed. Now the technology which supports these activities, that has become digital. Okay. So the platform and the infrastructure has changed. Earlier, to make a discussion, we need to gather at one place and then the discussion used to take place. Today, you don't need to gather at one place. Rather, we all can sit on one platform online, like Zoom kind of meeting app, or Google platform, or any other platform, WebEx kind of platform. And then we do the discussion, we conduct a meeting, and we all have seen during the period of COVID happening all this. Okay. So, the platform, the procedure, the infrastructure has changed. And hence the output has changed. But still, what we are producing is information, what we are producing is knowledge. But the container and the content, the format of the content has changed. Now, today you are having multimodal information objects. The learning of your students have changed. Okay. Now, a student is not dependent only upon classroom teaching. He can go to YouTube and watch a video, or if he wants to connect to somebody, he wants to discuss the matter with somebody in other part of the world, he can discuss. Okay. So online classes are there. The mode of learning also has become multimodal. The communication has become multimodal. The whole ecosystem of academics has become multimodal. So it is no more dependent on one method, one infrastructure, one kind of technology. And this is why the whole contemporary publishing environment has changed for you. Okay. So the whole output has changed. And because of that, today we have a lot of opportunity to share, uh, to collaborate with others. Okay. And this is because we have a lot of discussion tools available for us. You have got social networking, you have got online discussion forums, you have got blogs, you have got messaging services. And these all are, these all are interactive. These all are interactive. You can write and you get the response from other side, from your users. Okay. So the whole web environment has become interactive, and you have got wonderful discussion tools where you can connect with others, you can listen others, you can make others listen you. Okay. So fruitful discussions are possible with the tools. You have got a lot of research tools at your disposal. You have got search engines. Okay. So any day, if you get a problem or if you want to find it out, we
Sir, your audio stopped. PPT also gone. Professor Aditya.
Professor Aditya. Professor Aditya, your audio is not coming.
So he's having some internet related issue. He's trying to rejoin. Please be with us.
Can you listen me now?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
I don't know what is happening today. Yeah. I don't know where I left. So anyway, I was I don't know where I got disconnected. So anyway, again I am redoing something.
Yeah. Your PPT is not visible, means not you have to share PPT.
Okay, I have to share that. I got disconnected completely.
Yeah. Some internet issues, sir. I think in middle you lost your internet. That's why. Yeah, here you are there, sir. Digital scholarship.
So now I don't know where I lost.
One slide before, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that your anyway, Dr. Manoj, the moment it get disconnected, you give me a ring. I don't know today what is this happening. So anyway, so overall, this ICT tools and the digital platform, it saves a lot of our time as a creator, as an author, as a scientist. Okay, and today to create one research work, one object, information object, we require many actors. ICT or digital technology saves lot of our time. Okay, so it is not only for the researchers, all actors who are participating in the research, it is saving time for them. Not only the participant, it saves time for the person who are going to use your research work. That means your final audience. So if I see the digital scholarship, the input is still our good old traditional methods like this discussion, research, creativity, performance, and all that. It was like the way we used to do in good old days. But the only thing is today the technology and infrastructure has changed. Okay. Today you have got digital technology and you have got digital tools, platforms where we are doing all our good old traditional activities. Then outcome has changed. Today you have got multimodal objects, which includes your information object, includes audio, video, text, everything. The very learning of your users, that also has changed. Okay, he is no more dependent only on textbooks. He can go to YouTube and see the lecture. He can contact a person sitting in US on a particular subject who is an authority, and he can find out the solution. He can go to some forum where such discussions are going on, and he can find solution to his problem for those from those discussion forum. You know, a lot of platforms are there, and these all are the whole learning process, the whole academic ecosystem that has converted to multimodal. And therefore, the very publishing also, your contemporary publishing also has changed. Okay. Today, the publishing has changed uh, completely because you can publish anything within no time. Okay. So the whole publishing environment has changed. Now, as a researcher, as an academician, we have lot of tools at our disposal for discussions and sharing. Like today, you have social networking. Many times, social networking is being, referred as negative aspect, but social networking has a lot of positive aspect if you use it properly. Okay, you have discussion forums, you have blogs, you have messaging, and these all tools are interactive. The moment you give a response, means you write something on these tools, you get the response, you get the feedback. So it connects to you to others, okay, and connect others also to you. Okay, so you can listen them, they can also listen you, and it makes the whole ecosystem an interactive ecosystem. Then research tools. You have today search engines, you have today databases, online databases, your libraries are online. You have data collection tools like Google Form. You have Survey Monkey kind of services are also available. You have data analysis tools. You have social bookmarking. You have last but not the least, you have academic integrity softwares. Okay, where you can measure that when you are publishing something, that whether it is original or your write-up is not picked up from others, and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of tools which can save you from many kind of situations where your research work can be challenged. And these all tools are there available for you free of cost, and they are there for you as a researcher and as a teacher. There are a lot of creativity tools. You have text editors, graphic editors, audio video recorders, presentation creators, PDF creators, live streamers, and let me inform you that these all tools are free of cost. These all tools are free of cost, and you can use at any time. Okay, at your convenience. Apart from that, dictionaries are there for you to help to find out the suitable terms. You have translators and translators. You have uh, grammar editing tools, language editing tools. Okay, and these you can use all these products in your information resource, whatever you are creating. I'm not using the word your as a text, okay, or a research paper or something like that, or a book, because when you are using today uh, an information source, it need not to be only in text. It need not to be only in one format. It could have many formats. Okay, it could be a combination of many formats. So these all tools are there for you. You can use free of cost. And for our help, okay, Web 2.0 is there. That means today the web you are using, it is a dynamic web. I really need not to know the technological nuances of designing the website or web page. What I have to do is type the content and push the button, and it is published. Okay. Remember, if you are publishing something on Facebook, or you are writing something on Twitter, do you really need to know how to design a website? No, you don't need to know. But when you paste your content on Facebook, it is not pasted as it is. It is pasted with lot of codes attached. Okay. And as a user of the service, I really need not to know the nuances of the coding. What I need to know is the content I have to give. Okay. And the moment I publish something on web, my services, my the piece of information, whatever I have published, it is available to the whole world or to the intended audience. And not only that, they can give the feedback, and immediately I can start getting the feedback. So the reflections also I can see. Okay. So it has a wonderful environment. The 2.0 is a wonderful environment for all of us to utilize it in our academic uh, domain. You have a lot of tools available. Some of the tools I have already talked about. Uh, I have just created a word cloud or terms cloud for you, just to give you an idea of the tools. Now coming to the communication tool, which is very important, because when I started looking into this whole scenario of networking, internet, web, computer, for me, it was more like, after computation, power of the computer, it was the communication technology which fascinated me. And, today you have got a social networking as a very, excellent tool which you can use for talking to your clients, talking to your student, okay, talking to a colleague across the world, talking to a collaborator with whom you are collaborating. Okay. You can use social networking for creation, to write, to collaborate jointly together. Okay. So it is an excellent tool for creation. You can connect with the people whom you do not know even, but you share the same experiences, or you share the same interests. Okay? So it connects to you, to the people of same interest. You can use these tools for learning, imparting the knowledge to others, transferring the knowledge to others, communicate what is there in your mind to others without any kind of hindrance, without any kind of intermediary between you and your audience. You can exchange your ideas, you can work together and create something new. Okay? This is the beauty of using communication tools. You can do online meeting, you can do brainstorming, you can sit together, not physically, virtually together, brainstorming, you can do thinking. And there are a lot of different kinds of tools which are interrelated. You can connect these tools and generate new services. You can generate new product. You can use in your research output or in your classroom teaching. Okay. So a lot of tools are available. Of course, whatever you do, the efficiency has to be measured. And there are tools. It is only possible because of the web today, the form of web today we have. We have a lot of performance measuring tools at individual, institutional, and resource level. So at individual level, you have H-index kind of thing. Okay. where we use citations to measure the efficacy of your research work, how many are using it. Institutional ranking can be measured by referring the institute, uh, by linking the institute, or by the number of students who are uh, participating in your institute and all that. So today you have got a lot of ranking systems available. At national level, you have an IRF. In fact, the very, the evaluation of NAC visits. In fact, almost, I think 60% to 70%, they give you, means your ranking is decided or your grade is decided, the kind of information you submit online, which they can verify online. Okay. So, in fact, apart from that, there are a lot of, private ranking services are there for your institution, which can be used for increasing your student base, for improving your marketability of your institute. Impact factor of your resources like e-journals or websites, that also can be used, that also can be determined easily in an online environment. So, the measurement of efficiency, measurement of performance, uh, that has also improved in this online environment, and it has improved with a lot of transparency. Okay? It has also added a lot of transparency, and it is done automatically. So, without any kind of human intervention kind of thing. So that, we could remove a lot of biasness also in performance measurement. So anyway, apart from that, the publishing has changed. As I pointed out, the whole contemporary publishing has changed in this. You can publish anything within no time, in the form of ebook, e-journal. You can publish online if you don't bother about, publishing into high impact factor journals and all that. You can publish your research work from your very website. Who cares? And I tell you, if your work is good, you will get a lot of citations. And, for publishing, you don't have to know the technological nuances. You don't have to run after a publisher. You don't have to run after a lot of, postage, bureaucratic, and financial things. Okay. What you need to know is, or what you need to prepare is your content, and then push a button so that your matter is published on the website, your matter is published on the web. Okay. So, the whole contemporary publishing has changed. And it has brought down the pricing to a great extent. Okay. The resources which were required, like paper, machinery, ink, the manpower, the physical infrastructure, buildings, and all that, they are no required in this environment. But and it has more reach out to people. Other day when we were doing some conference and we were about to bring out the brochure, the very idea came to my mind why I need to print the brochure. Oh, of course, for the namesake, I had to print few. But, the wide circulation of my brochure, I could achieve through WhatsApp group, through social networking, through my website, and it is there around the whole country. So, the reach out has improved in the contemporary publishing environment. There are a lot of benefits. You can create one digital object straight away. You can the very workflow of publishing from submission to the commitment to the publishing, it is streamlined, and not only it is streamlined, it is transparent. Okay? If even you are publishing in e-journal, there is a predefined workflow, and your research work has to go through that workflow. And you know that at what date your very work is there, in which stage it is there, you can make out. Okay, so the workflow and transparency is there. Publishing is very quick. Feedback can be immediately gathered. Okay, there is no spatial barrier, geographical barrier. You publish and it is immediately there, available in the other side of the world. And most important, it is platform independent. So if I'm publishing anything from using a browser, I can view across the globe. And browser is there almost all the electronic devices. Even in your mobile phone, browser is there. In your tablet, browser is there. In your laptop, browser is there. In your desktop, browser is there. In your television, web browser is there. Okay. So web browser is there in almost all the devices, and whatever you publish, it can be viewed across, irrespective of the hardware, irrespective of the location. So you get wider audience for you. Again, for e-publishing, a lot of tools. Some of the tools I have already talked about. These tools are freely available for you. You don't have to buy any of these tools. Okay, any of these tools, these all are free of cost, whether it is PDF creator, HTML content writer, a LibreOffice, video recorders, wiki, YouTube, SlideShare. These all are free of cost for your e-publishing. If you want to start a publishing industry, okay, take my words, you use these tools and you can start today publishing your work, or you can start your own company. Only thing what you need to have is, some space in on a cloud. That's it. Now coming to learning, coming to teaching, which is the core area of our discussion today. This is a small model I have prepared. I have not invested a single penny in this. You can take my words. I have listed my syllabus. It is listed on my weblog for my students, and then my presentations are hosted on my Google Drive, which is linked from my blog page. I have linked my classroom, online classroom, through my Google Class. My recorded lectures are available on YouTube. My recorded lectures are available on Facebook, which the users or my students can view. Apart from that, if they have any doubt, they can write to me on my blog. They can write to me an email, and I would respond. So, this whole method of teaching, which I evolved probably because of thanks to COVID, uh, I have evolved. It involves no money. Okay, and the whole teaching was so effective. Only the problem comes when it is you require to teach the practical subjects, because in online mode sometimes it is very difficult to give them the impression of physical impression. It is very difficult to give physical impression on any kind of a tool or an object. Okay, so a dissection I can show on the screen how it is done, but unless the physically you dissect an object, you cannot get the feel. Okay, similarly, if I am to teach somebody library automation, he has to sit in front of me with the computer, and then I can teach him how to do the automation or the scanning of work and all that. But again, many things are possible. Only I think in academics, the practical courses where things are involved, where you have to mix two compounds and a new compound has to evolve, that only kind of things you have to have a laboratory where you can teach them. Otherwise, uh, things are possible in online mode and without any kind of uh, investment. There is another tool, we call it as Moodle. This is a platform you can create, you can ask in your institution, they can create for you. So it is a kind of institutionalized platform where you can offer to your students online classes, you can conduct examinations, you can offer services, you can create quizzes and all that. So a whole class, a whole course you can run using the Moodle. Uh, it is there, and this tool is also free of cost. So, in the digital scholarship, the very outcome when we talk about it is all multimodal and it has lot of impact on our stakeholders. It has lot of impact on our users, and it has lot of impact on the very outcomes and our teaching. Okay, and this is only because the whole ecosystem has changed for us. So today, the teacher has changed. You have got smart teachers, you have got smart students, you have got smart researchers, you have got a smart uh, audience. Okay, uh, your whole framework is virtual, it is no more physical, so you require very less physical space in conducting uh, any academic activity. Okay, what you require is IT infrastructure, a good IT infrastructure, of course. Coming to another important aspect which nowadays I'm talking about is research data management, because we all are researchers today. So we know the importance of research data. Uh, Whatever research you do, you produce it is done based on some kind of data. You collect the data, you do the research, you publish it, and after down 5 years or 6 years, if I ask you where is the data, you may say probably I have lost here and there. Because of poor maintenance. It's not that I am questioning the very integrity of the researcher. Sometimes what happens is once I publish the data and data becomes obsolete, we forget about the data and we don't keep it properly, or sometimes it is lost. But today, data is very important. So if you have collected data down 5 years before, almost 5 years before, and today same data I want to conduct, I can refer your data and I can save my lot of time. So that way that if you have already data, it has a lot of impact. So now the mantra is that data, research data must be protected, it must be shared, it must be searchable, it must be reusable. And not only that, if somebody is referring your data, it is as good as you getting a citation on your research work. So the why I'm talking all this is that whatever research you do, whatever data you generate, don't throw it on once your research work is completed. Your very data, if it is searchable, it is visible, it can fetch you a lot of citations. Okay, and it will be helping others professionally. In fact, many of the journals now, they impress upon that when you are doing when you are publishing with them, they say that the research data has to be kept on a public server so that the reader who is reading the article can verify that whatever research you have done, it is done on a proper data. Okay, so now the very uh, the data whatever uh, you have collected and on which you have done the analysis, that also is subjected to be scrutinized. Okay, in fact there are some very renowned events where some of renowned academicians and researchers, they could lose their job because they fabricated the data and down 10 years, 15 years, when they are caught, they had to lose their job, they had to lose their, name, fame, everything. Okay. So that is why whenever you are publishing, be careful with your research data and always preserve it properly so that the data, whenever it has been asked, you can produce. In fact, it is not wise to say that, no, I don't have data anymore. But apart from that, it has lot of, if you use research data management, it has a lot of benefits. It reduces the risk of loss. You can collaborate with others. Okay. And uh, if you have a data set for one purpose, some other person may use your data and can come out with some innovative service or some innovative product. Of course, you also will be the part of it because you have collected the data. So you also get the credit, even though you have not innovated or you have not visualized the use of data. But since you have collected, you also get the equal amount of credit. Apart from that, once the data, if it is collected, it saves a lot of time for other researchers who are doing advanced study on your previous study so that they can just build their case upon your study. And it saves a lot of their time and resources. Today, we have a lot of strengths at our hand. We have a lot of techno savvy researchers. In fact, I always point out, I get the faculty members from Sanskrit department who are very good in using language tools. Okay. In fact, 10 years before, it was very difficult to find out a teacher using IT or using computers in literatures. But today, I find the Sanskrit teachers using, Hindi teachers are using, philosophy teachers are using these tools, and they are using best use of these tools today. Okay. In fact, if you are using ICT, you can always work with large amount of data because you have uh, the enormous computation power of a machine at your disposal. Web technology is there. Web 2.0 is there for you for sharing, for collaborating with people across the globe. Today, you are not restricted to a particular institution when you are doing a research work, or you are not restricted to a particular geographical region. Rather, the whole world has become a small community, a small village. That is why we call it as a global village. So you can collaborate with anybody, any part of the world. And a lot of digital resources are there. You don't really need to rush upon library or different kinds of different types of libraries, the different libraries uh, for your interest. Things are available on web. If it is not available, you can write to the library and they will try to find out for you, and they can deliver online to you the resources. In fact, a lot of customized resources are there. If you ask somebody, services are there, customized services are there, which can save a lot of your time. Of course, the some services you need to pay, but if you pay for these services, it saves a lot of your time. So a lot of strengths are there because of use of ICT today, and it has become a really think about think about research. It has become very difficult for us to think about research without using these ICT tools. So a lot of beauties are there if you use digital platform, ICT tools or computers, because it gives you a lot of ease of doing. It gives you a lot of checks and balances because of a standardized workflow. So there are less chances of committing mistakes. Okay. Uh, and whatever you produce, it is normally a kind of a quality output. So in a nutshell, if you ask me as a teacher, as a researcher, or even as a normal human being, sometimes I fear that without computers, without network, it is very difficult for any of us to work, because it has this whole IT, or the platform of web. It has made us so dependent that it is very difficult to imagine a day without it. Uh, so with this remark, I thank HRDC of Mizoram University and my friends at HRDC for inviting me to share my experiences with all of you. Uh, if there is anything participants would like to add on, or if any doubt, I would be loving to answer. Thank you. Over to Dr. Manoj.
Yeah, sir. Sir, one Vijay Lakshmi, she is asking, could you be little specific on the best cost-effective e-tools for research in universities?
See, cost effective, see, research tool, our research involves many things. It's not that there is a particular tool for that. Okay, our research involves, you know, data collection tools. I don't know which field madam belongs, but if you are in social sciences, of course you require, data collection tool. You require analytics and tools for analysis. You require tools for when you are sitting and writing your research work. Then you require editors. Then you require, language editing tools. So there are number of tools you would be using when you are using your research work, or when you are doing a particular research. In fact, if you belong to sciences, you require a lot of computations. So for that, machines you need. Sometimes you require very specific softwares, and those softwares are proprietary. If you require some kind of programming kind of thing, lot of tools like R and all that statistical tools are there, which you can use. But the only thing is, what I say is, you have to create or build your skills, how to use these tools in your research work. There is no one shot tool, I can say that, which you can use for your research work. For different kind of activities, there are different kinds of tools, which I have listed in my whole talk. And many of the tools which I have discussed during my lecture, these all are free of cost tools. So anyone can use these tools and use in his academics and research work. I hope I answered.
So, sir, in this way, now we reach to the end of this lecture program, and on the behalf of the HRDC Mizoram University, I would like to give my sincere thanks to you for your valuable time and expertise which you shared with our participant. So thank you so much, sir. My office will contact you for the other official formalities with you. Okay, so thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So, dear participant, in this way, today we reach to the finish today class program, and as usual, now there is a time of break, and today morning I saw some messages about your book review and all. So already we posted the date and detail, and one day we have meeting. Any books which is published from 2022 to 23 means today till today, you can take up as your book review. Okay, book should not be 2019. Okay, 20 to 23 you can take. And the date you remember, already we have given a lot of time, and Saturday again we will give the half day time for that book review. So we hope within your time, stipulated time, you can submit your report. And meantime, again I am reminding you about your presentation, which is scheduled. I think your presentation is scheduled on the 4th. So meantime, you finalize your PPT, your material for that. Okay, there will be no extra time or class for your PPT. This is your day-to-day routine you have to do. Okay, so with this, thank you so much for everyone for today's lecture. Yeah, sir, I think anything you want to say?
Nothing. Actually,
So-
there is some question from Tanushree Kundu that should it be edited volume or single author book? It is already discussed earlier that any book you can choose. Edited volume books will be little difficult because many chapters will be there. But you are free to choose. If you want, you can choose that also. Or you can go for text. So anything is okay.
So, Tanushree, nowadays you are not asking any question. Actually, what do we feel? No, earlier in the beginning, the classes were little interactive, and many times we used to ask many questions. But nowadays it is difficult. No, the resource person. See, the calling the resource person from Delhi University, BHU for these classes is very difficult. Okay, so one person give the lecture 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes, or more than 1 hour, and at least he expects some questions, something to know the seriousness of the participant. So please be attentive, and at least you are 55. So at least each class, at least 2, 3, 5 people you can ask some queries, something no which you have doubt. Then it will be good. Okay. So with this, we are now closing today's session. Tomorrow morning, as usual, we will meet again 10 o'clock.